Hi everyone, I'm Laura Gadenik. I'm an astrologer and a therapist, and I'm here to give you the therapeutic astrology for the weeks of July 8th through the 21st, 2024. And I aim to give this astrology update to you with tips and tricks to utilize your free will. We don't have free will over everything, but we can often choose how we respond to the energy and utilize it. So that being said, today, July 8th, Monday, we have Mercury in Leo making a sextile to Jupiter in Gemini. Mercury is the planet of the mind, communications, how we think and speak, messages we receive and give. Jupiter is opportunity, abundance, broader perspective. So on this day, you might just have a broader perspective about an issue or situation that you might not have had access to otherwise. It's a good day to have like a bird's eye view over a situation and really think about different perspectives around a situation. Also, you or someone you know may receive good news. Jupiter is a planet about opportunity. You may feel more optimistic on this day, which might give you the courage to ask for something that you've wanted, and therefore that might be the reason you get it. So it's a good day to kind of be optimistic and to take chances, really. Venus also makes a sextile to Uranus on this day. Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, connection, and fun. Uranus is unexpected changes, 180 turnarounds, out of the box thinking. So, this is a good day to make changes in relationships that are easeful. Uranus really wants to make things more exciting and fun. And so, this might be a good time to explore with people you're in relationship with, what do you want to do together? What would be really fun and kind of outside of our norm? What have we been doing together, and what do we want to do together that's different, that's maybe a little unusual, that's a little more adventurous? So a good day to brainstorm that. And also thinking about what do you like to do? What brings you pleasure? What makes you have fun? And if you're feeling a little bored or restless, it's a good day to kind of think about what would you like to add to your life that requires taking a little bit of a risk. Also thinking about your style, how you express yourself physically. Do you want to get a tattoo? Do you want to get a piercing? Do you want to buy an article of clothing that you normally wouldn't? So it's kind of a good day to make little changes in that regard as well. Wednesday the 10th, the Sun in Cancer makes a trine to Saturn. Sun in Cancer really highlights our need for safety, security, and how, what we need to feel connected emotionally. And so Saturn is a planet about the long term, sustainability, hard work. So it's a really good day to think about what is sustainable for you? What do you need for long-term comfort and safety? And what does that plan look like? It's also a good day to put your nose to the ground and kind of get things done and be productive as well. So not gonna lie, the next 2 weeks, starting on mostly Thursday the 11th through Monday, Tuesday, the 15th, 16th is kind of chaotic, and there's a lot of really big astrology happening over the next 2 weeks. To kind of give you a summary, we have Venus first making a trine to Neptune, easy, lovely, good for compassion, forgiveness, peace, the sense of I'm here for you, I see you, I understand you. But then Venus makes an opposition to Pluto as soon as she heads into Leo, followed by Mars making a conjunction to Uranus in Taurus on Monday the 15th. So it's all kind of big, potentially explosive, but very important for creating transformative change in relationships, but in other areas of life as well. So I'm going to kind of walk us through this a little more slowly. Like I said, Venus makes a trine to Neptune on Thursday the 11th. So once again, really good for offering support to a loved one or to people that you love. Getting lost in a flow state, flow zone, relaxing, watching a movie, reading a book, just totally chilling out, but also, offering compassion to people that you love, and being in a state of, if you can access, there's more accessibility to this state of understanding. Before Venus heads into Leo on Friday the 12th and makes an opposition to Pluto, which really requires us to make a transformation in our relationships. Venus is the goddess of love and relationships. And this isn't only about romantic love, although that's definitely part of it. It can also be about friendships or family members. But Pluto is a planet that urges us, that forces us, I would say, to get to the bottom of something and to bring it to light. Pluto will force us to say what's been repressed or unsaid and to express what's really deeply going on in our hearts. It is an opposition. Oppositions usually indicate like going in opposite directions. So this could be, a time where whatever is said from the heart, between two people might result in a going of separate ways, or recognizing you have different values or different needs in the relationship. Or, Venus and Leo is a sign that really needs to be seen and be seen as very special, like you're the special treasure. And if you are in a relationship with someone or have been in a relationship with someone who doesn't recognize that, there can be this sense of like, oh, you just don't really see me as being important. So it's a good time to kind of talk about like what you do find in each other that is important, what you do love about someone else, and what is unique about them that you really love. But yeah, Venus opposite Pluto can really be kind of intense, and but it's gotta happen. Things gotta come out. So it can also be, if it's not about relationships or love, it might be more related to the parts of your charts that contain Leo and Aquarius. So whatever house that is for you, those themes might be more prominent. And it might also be, Venus can broadly represent women or femme folk. So it might even be like getting beneath the surface of something, or some conflict that's been kind of like on the surface, like that festering, right? Like you might be like having to deal with some sort of conflict with a woman or a femme person. Also a great day to really get in touch with your own sense of self-worth and value. Venus represents our self-worth and our value, as well as our values. What do you value? Are you living life according to your values? What do you deeply need to do to show yourself that you value yourself? That is really, I think, a big part of this. And so really good day to do some journaling around that. Okay, then on Monday, the 15th, the sun in Cancer makes this square to Chiron that can bring up some wounding or ouchiness or some tenderness. So be tender with yourself and others. And Mars makes a conjunction with Uranus and Taurus. This is kind of like big, explosive, I need something to change energy. Mars is a planet about action, energy, motivation, doing things. Uranus is, once again, unexpected changes, 180-degree turnarounds of events, out of the box thinking, restlessness. This is really restless, impulsive energy. So be careful and be mindful. There can be some explosiveness around this day. And really, I would encourage everyone to become more in tune with their anger. Like, what makes you angry? What rubs you the wrong way? And where is that in your body? And why? What are the stories? Are you feeling angry because you're not getting something that you need that feels like of life or death stakes to you? Needs, like our needs can really get into that sense of crisis. Like if I'm not getting my needs met, my needs for safety and security, which is very much so a Taurus thing, then anger can ensue, right? So is the anger around needs not being met? Or is it around thoughts that I'm having that may or may not be true? And so I would encourage everyone, myself included, to try to make that distinction and to just notice, like, what does anger feel like in my body? Where is it coming from? Why? And then finding some way to dispel it as peacefully as possible, I would say, without hurting yourself. Because this can be a day of accidents. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the astrology can be a little volatile. And often when we're not conscious of the energy, it can come out in sideway ways. So really, Mars-Uranus coming together indicates a strong need for a change and an actionable change. Like, what are the 5 steps you're going to take to, get yourself from point A to point B? Because Mars-Uranus is about identifying, like, oh, I need to be over here. And so I need to break free. I need to change something that's been stuck, that's felt very stuck. So, but just be wary of being too rebellious, breaking something that may just need adjusting. But sometimes at the end of the day, we need to break something in order for it to change as well. So that's what I have to say about that. But just be careful. Thursday, the 18th, the Sun in Cancer makes a sextile to Uranus. Things are calming down a little bit here. This feels like this could potentially help smooth out some of those changes that you kind of started potentially. Although I will say, I forgot to mention on Tuesday, the 16th, that's also going to be really intense because the moon is going to be in Scorpio opposing Mars in Uranus and Taurus, and Mars rules the moon in Scorpio because Mars rules Scorpio. So Tuesday also might feel really intense, cathartic. There might be a lot of emotions that come up on that day. Yeah, so just be careful and be mindful with how you're going about making these changes. Okay, so yes, Thursday the 18th, the Sun in Cancer sextiling Uranus and Taurus. Also just, that could be about a desire for authentic expression as well. How can you show yourself a little bit more in a way that feels authentic? Saturday the 20th, Mars moves into Gemini. So Mars will be here for like 6 weeks or so. This is a time where your energy may be focused on many tasks at once, potentially involving language or communication. Gemini is a sign about communication and chatting. Mars and Gemini can create a scattered feeling. So being mindful of like spreading yourself too thin. Mars will be in the same sign as Jupiter during this time. And so you might feel like a renewed sense of courage or optimism or like courage to take action on something. So it could be really positive, but also being mindful of overdoing. Okay. Then on Sunday the 21st, we have our second full moon in Capricorn at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So thinking back to the last full moon in Capricorn, and I'm blanking on when, like the exact date of that. I can look it up real quick though. So that was in June, and it was June 21st, thinking back to then, around then. What came to light for you then in the area of your chart that pertains to Capricorn? And what's coming to light now, Sunday the 21st of July, regarding the themes of your chart that, like, of the house that contains Capricorn? And then there's actually quite a bit going on Sunday the 21st, like a lot of different aspects happening, lots of different energy. Venus makes a sextile to Jupiter. This feels like celebratory, joy, ease and connection, like maybe things have finally calmed down a little bit. Mercury makes a square to Uranus, which can bring about surprising conversations, unexpected messages, a change of mind, needing to make quick decisions. It can feel maybe a little kind of like, woo, like all over the place, but And then of course, like full moons are already a little bit chaotic, and can be a little bit like busy, like very busy, a lot going on. But I think that Venus sextile Jupiter will help a lot with it feeling maybe like more fun than it otherwise would. Maybe it would be a little stressful otherwise. And then the sun is making a trine to Neptune as well. And so like right before the sun heads into Leo and makes that opposition to Pluto, which might tie up some components of the story of this Venus opposition to Pluto. But the sun trine Neptune is really about this desire to show compassion and kindness on this day. So you might like want to volunteer, or maybe do something nice for a friend, or once again, Neptune is about dreams and flow states and getting lost in kind of like this vortex of like going with the flow. So it might be where those are the kinds of things you do. Or Neptune is also images, film, photography, meditative states, creativity. So doing something on this day that's very creative and lively, especially because Mercury square Uranus is very like outside of the box thinking, new ideas, new ways of looking at things. So it's a good day to engage in activities related to these themes. And then on Monday, the 22nd, the sun heads into Leo, makes that opposition with Pluto, still dealing with some of that kind of tension of like what needs to be coming to the surface, what needs to be resurfaced and examined that has maybe been festering for a while. And on the same day, Sunday the 21st, Mars makes a trine to Pluto. So this is also like a day of having an intense drive and passion and motivation to achieve something, to do something, to go after something, and to make changes, to change. Maybe this is part of making changes with regards to what you exploded and what felt stuck over here. There's also the potential for an increased sex drive. Of course, Mars is a planet about our drives and urges and sexuality. Pluto is also a planet that represents those things as well. So that's always like when Pluto and Mars come together, there's always kind of like more sexual energy in the air. So, okay, so I hope that was useful. Please like, subscribe, comment. I love hearing from everyone. I'm open for consultation, so please reach out. Otherwise, I will see you all in a couple of weeks for another astrological update, and I really hope these next few weeks go as smoothly as possible with whatever changes are coming about. So take care.